Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today here at the Virtual Y. My name is Mike and we are looking at 30 minutes of a gentle, slow flow type yoga. Going to do all kinds of movements today, focusing a little bit on our laterals, so some side work, making sure that we're bringing things back into a nice central alignment. Let's begin lying back. So go ahead, just give yourself that nice relaxed body position all the way back. And rest for just a moment while you bring your awareness onto your breath. Maybe you want to bring your right hand on your belly and your left over your heart, and let that be, it's kind of a nice way to use that as a biometric feedback for yourself about how you're doing. So what is the state of your breath and of the rhythm of your own heartbeat? Cue into that and use it as a focal point or an anchor for your mind. And here, as you begin your yoga practice, I'm going to encourage you to smooth out the breath, number one, but then also try to smoothly increase the volume of it. So if you're feeling how the belly is rising with your hand, maybe that can be your guide as to taking a little bit deeper inhale and a little bit deeper exhale, and smoothing all of that out. This gives us a nice tether to our mind, the mindful act, and the smoothness of the breath translates into a smoothness of mind as well. Nice. Finish one more nice, smooth, big breath. Deep and deep exhale. And we're going to do a few nice warming movements here while we're lying back. So I want you to clasp your fingers, clasp your hands, turn the palms away and reach on up overhead and just give yourself a full body stretch. So I want you to reach in and stretch places that you have not activated perhaps today. Stand on the wall that's, underneath your feet. Flex, reach, draw your navel in, maybe squeeze your glutes. Feel the activation in the navel. Activation in the underarms. Reach those palms away from you. Activation in the area of the throat even, right? Good. And then as you bring those back to your sides, let's bring our feet in closer to your hips. And stabilize your shoulders. And inhale, let's have a flowing bridge. Inhale, come overhead with that bridge and lifting. Feeling that nice activation in the spine. Exhale, the arms come back down at the same time that the hips find the floor. And again, inhale. Do this with the breath. Every time you inhale, those arms and hips go up. And every time you exhale, guide them back. And please, you don't have to go. I want to encourage you when you are thinking about what your practice is, it should be guided with your own breath. Okay? It doesn't have to go in time with my cue, inhale, exhale. I just mean that when you inhale, move in that direction, and when you exhale, move in the other direction, kind of advice. All right, good. Nice. And then let's go ahead and hug. Next time you're on down, hug those knees in, put your hands on each knee and give some opposite circles, maybe big wide circles. Do it so that on the circles, you're feeling your hips, your pelvis kind of rock on the mat, rock forward and back, and you're also getting to a point where the thighs are compressing the low belly, and then reverse that. They come in, they actually kind of feel pressure in the belly. Big wide circles the other way, same thing. Good, we got lots of warm-ups to do today. And then tuck your chin into your chest, and if it feels okay, go ahead and rock yourself up to sitting. Round back, and then come on up. Find a comfortable seat. Stabilize yourself here, and let's start with your hands at heart center. We're going to do what we call Vyana arms. That's inhale. Bring those up the midline, and spread nice and wide here. And then really when you're at the end of that, really feel like you're extending out beyond yourself. Exhale, and then we bring it back in, drawing the chin in, drawing the navel in a little bit. Okay, so I want this to be more energizing maybe and more aware each time you do it. Inhale, maybe you even pause briefly and let that flow out, okay? Exhale, come on in. If we're pregnant, try not to pause the breath. You can do anything as lightly as you need to. Inhale, come on wide. Pause, really reach out. Let that energy go beyond the space of you. Exhale, back in. Nice. And I want the last one to be even bigger. Take all the energy that you've got inside you, send it to the surface of your skin, and now beyond you, out into the world. Okay, exhale. Bring that back on in. Okay, next thing we're going to do seated is just a little bit of belly churning. I'm turning to the side. So I want you to just rest your hands. And so sometimes we do the big barrel roll. Don't do that. Stabilize this, and instead, just take your abdominals and try to draw a little circle with them. So it's almost like you draw side, back, side. It's just a much smaller stir, and it's isolated at the lower abdomen. And then go the other way. So this in Ayurveda it's just kind of a variation of what's called Nauli Kriya, and it really truly is meant to stir up our inner fire, get things going, that potential energy that's in there. You know you got it. All right. And then we're going to do a little bit of cat stretches seated. Inhale, come on up, and start by exhaling. Drop your hands behind you. Drop them behind you, and open your heart. Place your hands behind you, maybe tented fingers. Inhale and lift. Open the heart, and look up if it's comfortable for you. Do what you need to if your neck needs a little more attention. And then take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, then you're going to bring your arms forward as you draw the navel back. And we're going to do our cat stretches like that. Inhale, open your shoulders, maybe look up, heart rises. Exhale, and come forward. Good, and really feel like you can be very, very expressive with this. I want to get a lot of articulation through the spine, through those vertebrae. Okay, inhale, really opening. Exhale, let's draw in one more time. Beautiful. All right, find yourself to all fours. We're going to come over and put our hands under shoulders and our knees under hips and do something a slightly different today. So I want you to take one knee and bring it back a couple inches, 2-3 inches. Now we're going to do our inhale here, exhale, and sit back and do child's pose with that asymmetry, okay? And inhale, come on up. And I want you to just kind of it's going to feel a little weird, but that's kind of the point. Key in on what the difference here is. Do you feel this now a little bit more deeply on one hip? If not, I don't know, maybe sit it back. Can you sit the hips back equally while still keeping the knees not equal? Next time you come up, go ahead and gently change positions of those. Draw the other knee back behind the other. Start from all fours. Take time to adjust if you need to. And what does this bring up? Does this kind of expose any sensations in the spine or hips or your ribs or your shoulders? I know for some reason I'm feeling it way more on this side than I did on the other. Okay, come on back. And the next time you're in tabletop, let's let that be the last. Come on up again. And then let's stay on our knees. If you need to, double up. I know some of us are on carpet, probably not too bad. Come on up. Raise the arms overhead, and then I want you to exhale, bring your right arm down to the side. Inhale, bring those fingertips apart from one another, and then sort of using your arm as a stabilizer, go over the top. So a lot of times we'll do this standing, just doing it kneeling today. Open up. As you inhale, feel that. Open up the ribs. Good. Let's return this. All right, so now the left hand is down. Right arm reaches up overhead, fingers far apart. Use this anchor and then go over. When you go over, you probably feel that your hips and your core need to do a little bit more work. That's okay. That's what we're doing here. Only as far as feels doable for you. Okay, come on back to just standard arms down. We're going to work our way up to standing. So however you like to do that, sometimes you could walk hands to feet or feet to hands, roll back or lift on up. When I stand up, nice idea to put my hands at my hips, keep a nice knee bend, and then lead with the heart to stand up. So what that does, that knee bend and leading with the heart really protects that low back. Let's do a few things here. Some of the same things that we were doing lying down. Interlace, go on up overhead, and then exhale, reach, 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 way far away. Remember how this felt when you were lying down? Kind of have that same activation and those same sensations here too. Front side is active, back side is active. Sides, feet, hands, shoulders, throat, everything. Go, go, go. All right. Let's, as we inhale, lift up, and then exhale, would you go ahead and twist as you sit into a chair. Let's sit into a twisting chair and we'll flow. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, go around to the other side. And you can sit as deep as you feel like activating today. Inhale and exhale, I should say, once we're on our feet is when we start testing the heat portion of our practice, whatever that may be for you. All right, so sometimes we need to activate a little bit of heat to get ourselves going. But if we are taking care of a back or knees or something like that, then we're going to be real careful how much of that burner we turn on, right? Let's go again, one more. I'm going to finish even rounds. Good. And you're doing all this with your inhales and exhales. I just know it. Now exhale, drop your hands behind you, and you're going to hold either your wrists or forearms, elbows if you're feeling like it, and inhale, lift on up. This too, now feel like what this is like, similar to when we were seated and had our hands behind us. Lift, lift, lift. Draw your navel in to support the back. Don't kink out in the back. Lift. Now, inhale. Exhale, draw your chin in, bend your knees a lot, and come to where you can rest your belly on your legs. Now let your, kind of system stabilize. And if you want, you can stay here. If you want, you can take this bind into a forward fold. But now if this starts feeling just impossible, please just melt this out and come into a forward fold. Anything you like. You can keep the knees bent. Otherwise, keep those shoulders shrugging back if you've still got the bind. Okay. All right, if you've got the bind, undo it. Put your hands against your shins and inhale to press against them and lift yourself into a halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. How about we bend those knees a lot, hands at hips. Inhale, lead with your heart. There again, protecting the back. And exhale, mountain pose. Okay, let's inhale, flip the palms up and away. And then exhale, let's go ahead and twist in that chair. Inhale, arms go up overhead. And we're just going to put all that together into an easy flow. Exhale, twisting the other way. Inhale here. This time we're going to drop those arms behind us and maybe clasp the opposite way. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, stick your booty back. Bend your legs. Draw your chin in. Come halfway down. Come part way. And then if you're feeling it, take it into a forward fold. So I'm a person who, when I'm bound like this, my body likes to start going a little nuts if I am bound like this and I go down too quick. So that's why you can stop at one point. Inhale, drop your hands to your shins and come to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. That's why I belabor the point. Okay. Hands to hips. Inhale, lead with your heart and rise. Practice that good form. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, clasp those hands. I'm turning just to kind of give you different angles if you need to see. And then exhale, again, twisting chair. Hands to opposite hips. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale again. This will be the last time through. Inhale now, you're experts. Come on up. And exhale, drop those arms behind you. If you want to clasp, go ahead. Otherwise, hands at hips. And then hinge. Again, putting your belly on your legs. Good amount of knee bend. And we're going to keep going. Hands at shins. Give me a halfway lift. Press to be straight. Exhale, forward fold. All right, guys. From here, stay in the fold. But I want you to lunge your left foot back a bit. Lunge it back and put your heel down. Now, bring your hands to your thigh, help yourself come back on up. And I just want to do a little bit of a flow here. All right. Make sure your knee is going in the direction of your toes off the front of the mat. Let's inhale, arms to wide, and then exhale, give yourself a side angle. So we're just going to flow here, bending into this. So some of you are going to feel more able than others. Some of us are going to feel really very worked out. by this amount of knee bend. Otherwise, you could also keep the leg bent. All right, you could keep it bent the whole time. You're going to feel the heat turn on then. All right, come on over. Now, let's go ahead, straighten the leg, and bring your front arm up. Bring your front arm up, lift, and give me this sort of reverse warrior, and then rebend. Can you bend a little? How's that feel? Can you bend more? Oh, good. Nice. And let's just drop back down and turn completely to the side. So you're going to have feet pretty parallel and good and grounded, and just kind of make everything come back to center energy-wise. Okay, so let's do this. We're just going to lunge side to side. Inhale here, and exhale. Just go ahead and lunge to the right. And I'm going to say that there's lots of ways to do this. Inhale, and then exhale to the side. And I want you to go with your breath. You can stay up as far as you like to. I'm going to progress this. You can start coming down, you know, if you're able to reach. If you are able to reach and stick your booty back, then just kind of, we're lunging side to side, that's all. And go nice and slow flow with this. I do not care for speed. What we're doing is we're moving with intention, we're moving mindfully, and we're letting these muscles open up, lengthen, warm, okay? Lunge, you got one leg straight and one bent. All right, so just, you know, and again, I could be literally up here too. All right. And then go ahead, come back to center, hands to hips, and rise again. And we're going to do just that other flow. So whichever direction you were not, hands are on, feet are on 2 lanes. Inhale to wide, and exhale, flow over. Just make sure you're getting the other side. So we got that warrior 2, pseudo, to a side angle here. And if you are okay with the heat, you could keep the leg bent. Otherwise, every time you inhale, you could re-straighten. Build strength over time, all right? Trust me, it happens. Sometimes more quickly than you realize, especially if you do the same practice a few times. Okay, let's go ahead and make this the last one. And send your front arm up high again. And then just see if you can bend a little bit. Does that feel good? Maybe more, maybe more. Look up if it's comfortable. This is a reverse warrior. Oh, that is great. Good amount of work. Let's go ahead and come back to the center again, and we're going to work our way back to the floor. So however you need to do that, if you want to release to the floor, bend your knees, whatever works for you best, and we're going to come onto our fronts. So I want you to start in a Sphinx, like so. So your shoulders are above your elbows, and we're going to do a side plank here. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you might want to just lie on your side. Okay, do this. Take your right fist and bring it over to your left elbow. On that. And then take your right heel up in the air. Okay, and then you roll onto your side and make sure your hips lift and on away. Now, you could stay like this. If this bothers your shoulder, just lay down. And then thread as you exhale that space underneath you. Ho, ho, ho. Now, especially something that is an abdominal exercise, you want to challenge yourself, but you also want to kind of tap out if you need to before you reach. No injury, never any injury, okay? I'm exhaling to thread. Okay, inhale last time, got at least 5 of those. And then exhale, let's come back down onto the fronts. How about just come on down here, put your hands under your shoulders, draw the shoulders back, and have a few cobra flows. Inhale, lifting on up, a little support from the hands. Exhale, and let that bow. And so really lengthen through the whole body. The tops of the feet are feeling the floor. Exhale, you're feeling the glutes and low back do some work. The amount of weight that you're putting in your hands is kind of up to you. You could be putting 0 weight in the hands, right? Feel the difference. Inhaling, and again, with this stuff, you could choose to tap out and rest. Good, good. I'm gonna do one more. I like to get at least 5 of something in. Exhale. Beautiful. All right. So rest if you need to. I'm going to move on to the other side plank. And we started that. Let's put it back together. I started that in Sphinx. Those elbows need to be right under our shoulders for good support. Now take your left fist over to your right elbow. Left heel up, and you turn onto the side again. All right, so make sure your hips are up off the floor unless you're protecting your shoulder, and then exhale, thread. So inhale, open on up. Exhale, come on through. See if you can do about 5 of those. Good. So if I was on my side, I could also maybe lift my top leg and just kind of have this be some nice oblique work. Any amount, whatever you can do. Okay. So I think that was about 5 for me. Let's go ahead, come back onto your front, and then just rest for a moment. Put your forehead on your hands, rest your feet, and just catch your breath. It's so interesting how much energy rises out of a simple, all we did was pull ourselves away from the floor a little bit there, and you experience how much work that was, right? A fair amount. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and come on up to all fours. And then I just want to do some gentle flows for opposites. So inhale, once you're at all fours, extend your right leg and your left hand, and then bring it back in, and we'll switch sides on that. So all we're doing is a spinal balance. And for some, you may have to start by keeping the limbs close to the floor. I'm going opposite, so if my right heel goes out, my left hand goes out, and then I return myself back to tabletop. And I know that you are going with your breath, inhaling, exhaling to drop it back down. So yeah, you could keep and support as much. You could do just the leg, just the arm, okay? Fine tune it for you. Nice. I want to do one more set. Keeping your belly, your navel locked up and in. Draw yourself away from the floor. Good. Good. Rights and lefts here. All right. And put that down. And go back to a seat. So I want to do a bit of a one-legged stretch here. Going to do a little bit of a bow and arrow. So I have this strange cushion here. You might like to sit up a little bit on a blanket. Keep your right leg long. No, left leg long, bend your right. I'll mirror you. And then if you can, take your first 2 fingers and find your big toe. Now, let your hand at your side support you, and do a bow and arrow. So inhale here, and then exhale. I'm drawing my knee to the outside of my arm. Inhale here, exhale. Good. Inhale, and this could be, you could even do it like so, and sitting forward if you don't want to hold onto the foot. Okay? Good. Now, let's go ahead and just drop that down and let the bent leg fall out to the side. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, turn away from the long leg. Turn away and lodge your arm on the inside. Inhale, lift, that back arm is supporting you. Exhale and twist away. Open twist today. Also, if I have any pregnant people out there, open twisting is the way. We don't generally want you twisting and compressing. Going upside down a whole lot, laying on the belly, stuff you probably already know. If you have any questions about that stuff, feel free to, ask in comments. If you're on the virtual Y, you can scroll down, leave feedback and questions. Don't want to leave you hanging. Okay, let's go ahead and come forward. And then let's just go straight onto this. So, nice tall body. And then as you exhale, hinge from the hips and find the spot you want to start at. So many times on these poses, I see people get really wrapped up in, okay, we're in this pose. I got to go find it. Start at the place you want to start. Don't worry about where you're going to end up. My starting point in this pose is where I feel like my body is naturally stopping me, my hamstrings, my back, but my spine is nice and long. as I continue to breathe and hold my focus and maybe draw my navel in at the end of those exhales, maybe just kind of naturally, I'm going to find a more space, more weight. And by the time I'm in the last breath I take in the pose, I'm going to be at a different place. Now, trying to start at that place is not necessary. Right? Give yourself the time. Let your body relax. You're talking about a lot of connective tissue there. Big chain of joints and tissue here. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead. Come on up. Then you're going to bend your other side. Take your first two fingers and find the big toe. Again, if you wanted to, you could just kind of sit forward and back. Otherwise, bow and arrow here. You got, and then draw the knee on the outside. Inhale, come away. Good. And again, this the free arm can help support you and keep you lifted on up. What is the point of this? This is actually helping us get, forward folding a little bit more. A lot of other poses use this skill of being this kind of deep knee by the shoulder. All right, let's go ahead and put that foot down, and then we'll do our other open twist here. Lodge your arm in against the straight leg. Open back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist away. Good. And something I kind of failed to mention too, we mix these up. Look back into your twist. We mix up these classes every week, but I'm a big advocate for returning to a practice a few times or as many times, not forever. But that gives you the chance to work on certain poses, certain strength, certain flexibility, and you'll notice a real increase with your practice if you return to the same one. I know a lot of us like to kind of keep the variation, but it really is a good idea. All right, let's go ahead and come on front. If you were with me live in class, we usually 3 weeks worth, 3 to 4, I'll do the same one. Okay, inhale, come on forward, exhale. I don't have to do that here because you can go back and watch it again, right? Did we go for our end point, or did we allow ourselves to find a starting point? And then bring ourselves back into some softness, some awareness, breath, body, and allow yourself to, melt wherever you will. Generated a good amount of heat. Now letting that move through the body. These one-sided poses too can bring up a lot of the disparities in our sides, either our hips or our low back. It can really expose where we are different on one side from the other. But by the same token, by working equally, lefts and rights, we're working to bring those more into equality. All right, let's go ahead. Inhale and come on up. And then if you're sitting on something, go ahead and come off and come onto your back, where we'll do a happy baby today. So roll all the way on back. Here are some variations for happy baby. You could literally do our knees to chest, but happy baby is more, if you can, put your hands on your feet and then draw your knees towards your sides. All right. Want a little bit of a massage, a little bit of a rock. Eventually in a pose like this, you want your tailbone to come down. It's easy to curl that up. You want the tailbone to come to rest, but it can take some time for the body to relax. Or if you have your first two fingers around the pose, you may be able to get the knees a little wider, more inner thigh stretch. Yeah, so also encourage you to, once again, leave that feedback and questions. We would have that opportunity if you were in class, so I want you to feel like you can do that here too. Maybe closing your eyes and bringing yourself into your rhythm of your breath again. And let's go ahead and bring everything back down. If you like, you can set your feet wide. Knees tip in, and find your best kind of stable spot there and rest. Arms to the side, palms up. Otherwise, you can lay with the body out long and take a few moments to relax. Close your eyes and notice again the rhythm of your breath as it moves through the body, your belly rising and falling again. As always, I encourage you to spend as much time in relaxation as you can afford. Given that our time together is limited, I'll talk you through how to come back whenever you're ready. You're just going to roll onto one side, keeping your knees bent. Spend a breath or two there. And then gently find your way to a comfortable seat. Not losing the good focus and momentum that we have towards better mindful being. Hands at heart center in the Anjali Mudra. And to seal in the practice, just go ahead and bow that chin in, look down towards the fingers. And as a final gesture in your practice, offer your practice to something, someone. The fruits of your efforts, let go of them. Just be unattached. This is not mine. We would say in yoga, idam namama. This is not mine. And let it go. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great week and keep your peace and power with you. If you are new to the Y, we are offering a special deal too for a virtual-only membership, which is $9.99 a month. And that gives you access to every class that is recorded at all times. So there's thousands of classes in there. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you here again next week. Bye now.